Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to my channel, K Days or K Diaries here for the Champions League, Europa League and Europa Conference League semi-final second leg. We're about to close in about 21. I've already got 20 subscribers in YouTube. Let's get this show on the road. Before you get into the channel, please hit the subscribe button and thumbs up and leave your comments below. That's free to do. And first game at the championship. The first game at the Champions League semi-final are Inter Milan versus PSG. We have a potential thriller of their UEFA Champions League semi-final second leg at San Siro this week, as the Inter Milan sneak the double this season against treble chasing Barcelona. Both played in an absolute thrilling game. 3-3 at Spain. Certainly it's been a brilliant game, but Inter took the game to Barca last week and opened the scoring within first 33 seconds thanks to strikes for Marcus Thuram and the way in which Denzel Dumfries in particular exploit the high Barca line was very impressive. But Barca did begin to get to grips but squeaked them in a lot better in the second half. But Barca will play the exact same way at San Siro, and it should once again be a thriller for the neutral, whereby the general outcome for the match is generally too tough to call. But I'm going for Inter Milan 1, Barcelona 2, and Barcelona to progress on aggregate on 5-3 and to progress through to the finals. Right, PSG versus Arsenal. In the first leg of this Champions League semi-final tie at the Emirates Stadium saw PSG take away a 1-goal advantage to potentially build on in Paris as well. So PSG was nearly history a couple of weeks ago. They edged towards becoming the first ever French team to go unbeaten throughout their domestic season in the French League, Ligue 1, La Liga 1. So for Arsenal, Mikel Arteta has put all the Arsenal's eggs in the Champions League basket for a couple of months, and now it paid off in the quarter-finals as the Gunners defeated Real Madrid by 5-1 on aggregate last month. But they're just coming on the back of a 2-1 defeat to Bournemouth at home. Slightly a little bit of jeopardy, but in 2025 PSG has defeated Manchester City and Aston Villa at the Prix de Prince, but they were beaten 1-0 by Liverpool in the first leg of their Champions League last 16 tie in March. However, that loss to the Reds have massively against run of play, but they have dominated English sides at home this year. They now face an Arsenal side. They have taken their eye off the ball in the league, but it is difficult to switch it back. But for a game that requires such intensity, but if the hosts get off to a similar start last week in terms of their dominance, then the game is likely to get away from the Gunners. But I'm going for Arsenal to win 2-0. I think they could turn things round, you know. And Europa League semi-finals are Bodo Glimt versus Tottenham. It was an impressive performance from Tottenham Hotspur in the first leg, but they have left the door open ajar for Bodo Glimt to fight back in the second leg of their Europa League semi-final. But in the quarter-finals, Bodo Glimt last month defeated Lenze by 2-1. As for Tottenham Hotspur, they're just coming on the back of a 1-1 draw on Sunday with West Ham United at the London Stadium. Right. So Tottenham are fared for their facility, and they have now head to completely different conditions against a side that well groove at home with just a 2-goal advantage, and that could be wiped out in 2 set pieces within the first 15 minutes of the game. But Spurs squad is better what Postecoglou have got out with. But head to the Asmus Stadium in Bodo in Norway, but whether or not Bono Glimt can overturn the deficit is a big ask, but certainly doable. But signing with them for the leg would be sensible bet. But I'm going for Spurs, you know. I think they will get over the line by 3-1 and progress through to the final. Right, Manchester United versus Athletic Club, but Athletic Bilbao. Manchester United will believe they've already put one foot through to the final of their Europa League following their shock demolition of Athletic Club in Bilbao in the first leg last week. But Manchester United just coming on the back of a 4-3 defeat to Brentford on Sunday. But if they win the Europa League, they will first far qualification for next season's Champions League. But anything can happen, really. So since the first leg, Manchester United have shown their polarities once again with that 4-3 loss to Brentford, as I mentioned at the weekend, while as Athletic shared a predictable goalless draw with Real Sociedad in the Basque derby. But United were at home and hose against Lyon in the quarter-finals before 10 men. Lyon fought back from 2-0 down to the night to go 4-2 up in extra time before also scrambled a collapse at Old Trafford. But for me, I think United should have too much. I'm going for United to win 2-0. Right, on to the Conference League now. Chelsea versus Dutch Garden. But Chelsea all but secure their place in the final of this season's Europa Conference League as they now welcome Swedish side Stamford Bridge in the first leg of their Europa League semi-final in Stockman last Thursday. Chelsea have beaten D. Jurgen 4-1 to Nicholas Jackson, but they were impressive. They defeated Premier League champions Liverpool by 3-1 at the Bridge at the weekend on Sunday. Enzo Maresco's Blues have begun to find some form in the Premier League too, but they are still in contention for the top 5 and the Champions League place races. So Chelsea will likely to rotate quite heavily in this one, but they focus on the Premier League after winning comfortably in the first leg of their quarter-final against Warsaw last month, but then suffered a 2-1 defeat to Polish giants at home in the second leg. But the response from the supporters was not a happy one. But I think Chelsea will win it quite easily, but I'm going for them to win 4-0. Right. Fiorentina versus Real Betis. We have ourselves a very intriguing Europa Conference League semi-final second leg taking place at the Fiorentina takes on, but right now. So Real Betis lead by 2-1. But I'm going to go for Real Betis to win 1-0. So I've got Chelsea versus Real Betis in the final in the Europa Conference League. Barcelona versus Arsenal in the Champions League, I think. But hopefully I'm proving them wrong. And Tottenham versus Manchester United in the Europa League final. So that's my predictions then for the Champions League, Europa and Conference League semi-final second leg. Leave on your comments below, and we'll see you in the next one for the Premier League of Darts later on tonight. See you soon, and have a good day. Bye.